Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Hello from the sunny city of Cagayan de Oro. It's July 3. It's 3:01, and I know a few are already tuned in to the most anticipated webinar probably in Cagayan de Oro City. We'll be live in a bit, or we'll start in a bit. We'll wait for the rest to actually join us, probably in 2 to 3 minutes. If you're live or if you're tuned in, send me a tweet. I can actually read, or let me know if you're online. Send me a message on Facebook, and we'll see what we can actually do. But I'm really excited to share this to everybody. This is my second year of doing the blogging for beginners webinar. This started last year after I resigned from my old employer. I told myself that I should do something, and this is one way of paying back to the community as well for for the years of their support on my blogs on VICMADZ.com and on wowcdo.com. I'm a bit nervous. It's been a while that I haven't talked really to a lot of people. And I'm truly sorry if last Sunday, it was not pushed through. We lost power in our area from 4 a.m. until 4 p.m., which was the original schedule. So we'll be starting in a bit. For the meantime, I'd like to actually thank a couple of sponsors who actually made this webinar possible. I'd like to thank Smart Communications. They're my technology partner for this webinar. I'll be actually giving 2 pocket Wi-Fis probably within the day. I will be announcing it on my Facebook page. I'd also like to thank the support from the Nest brands like Maison de Bonbon and Giuseppe. They opened last July, 2 weeks ago, here at Cagayan de Oro, Corrales Avenue near Boyzugba. If you can hear the background, this is literally my background. Birds chirping and a few vendors coming through and in our street. Okay, a few reminders. The webinar will last from 45 minutes to an hour. You may always ask me on Twitter at VICMADZ or my Facebook page, VicMadriaga. You may also change the quality of the video from SD to HD. You can also watch the webinar by going to YouTube. Just look for Vic Madriaga. A replay will also be available. A guide sheet will also be given. You can always take notes, or I could always email it to you. If the video buffers, you may wait for it to load or reload the page. And as usual, please enjoy the webinar. If you're ready, let's begin. So welcome to the Blogging for Beginners Year 2. I'm Vic Madriaga, and I'm here to actually teach you how to blog. Just to set your expectation, this is the simplest form of actually teaching you how to blog. This will not contain highfalutin words. There may be, or technical words, but I'll make it simple for you. If you have any questions, tweet me at VicMads. I also blog at VicMads.com. That's my personal blog. And I also have a gateway blog or a lifestyle tourism blog, and that is wowcdo.com. These 2 blogs have actually, received a few, probably 1 or 2 awards coming from different award-giving bodies. Aside from blogging, I also write for the Mindanao Gold Star Daily. For the urban life section, that's every Friday. I talk about tech, I talk about lifestyle, I talk about current events. I'm also a freelancer. I'm a virtual assistant, and I also provide social media solutions to a few companies locally here in Cagayan de Oro. All right, I'll start this session with the words that you can actually do it. You can do blogging. When I started, I thought I cannot do it for the reason that I don't, speak fluent English. I don't write good English. But literally, it can be learned through time. It's actually a skill that can be developed. What cannot be developed is the attitude or your mindset. So you really have to ensure that your mindset is you can actually do it. So basically, anybody can actually blog. It's actually, when you think you want to write, I think this is a good venue for you to start writing, blogging. And what will be our objective for today? You learn the basic in blogging, the benefits also in blogging, and the essentials of launching your very own blog. Our agenda for today will be, I'll be introducing you to blogging. I'll also discuss the advantages and a few disadvantages. I'll also provide you free blogging platforms or platforms you can start with. The basic parts of a blog, this will just be very quick. The types of a blog, I'll be showing a couple of screenshots on the types of blogs. Also, I'll be giving you tips on creating your very own first blog. Sometimes, it's a problem like what to write. So here are a few ideas on how to create your first blog and how to make your blog extra awesome. So let's start. So what is a blog? A blog is actually a term used to describe a website or a blog or a website that maintains an ongoing chronicle of information. A blog is, it started in the early 2000s or late 90s when the internet was still young. There were a lot of, very first bloggers. The bloggers back then were not yet mainstream. They were blogging on their own. They were expressing themselves. And it's like a form of diary for them. So basically, a blog is a type of diary type commentary. You can express anything you have in mind. It can be from personal to political. I know one political blogger who've come back to doing political blogging. That's Ria Jose. I think she's tuned in right now. It can be one narrow subject. It can be fashion. It can be anything. It can even be about food. It can even about events within your city. It can be any whole range of subjects. It can be your personal journals. A few do have blogs, but they don't call themselves blogger because they don't share their personal journals online. I think they'd like to keep it a secret. It can also be your daily life or daily thought. And what are the advantages, or what's in it for me to actually create a blog? Here are the things that you can actually consider of why would you like to create a blog. First is it increases knowledge. Blogs are a great source of knowledge, but you have also to ensure that it's a reputable blog. It's a blog that gives you the right information, because there are other what we call satirical blogs or satire blogs that that's just for the purpose of getting traffic and for creating issues. These blogs are inclined to actually doing money making. So with blogs, you get to learn their life, you get to learn their lifestyle, you also get to learn a few things. And at this point, at this era, information is really key. Without any information, how can we connect to the world? Other than that, it also improves your writing skills. To be honest with you, when I started blogging, I also read other blogs of other bloggers I've been, let's say, stalking in the past. I was once a stalker of, one of the stalkers of the bloggers here in KND, or not even in CDO, also in Davao, also in different key cities. So basically, before venturing into blogging, I've already read most of these blogs online, and they are my inspiration. Without them, I would not know my writing skills. I would not know the things that I'd love to write. So It improves your writing skills because the moment you read, it also practices your imagination, and some of the words you may actually get from the books or actually materials online that you've read on. So with blogging, I've improved my writing skills. In the past, it's my dilemma. I'm not really a huge, grammar Nazi. I'll give you something. When I started blogging, I had a proofreader. I'd like to say hello to Pauline Legralde. She was my proofreader when I was still starting blogging around 2007, 2008. So looks like I'm, reaching a decade in blogging. So, we're all not perfect. We have weaknesses, and if you don't have that, that desire to improve that weakness, then you may not get to the point where you'd like your life to be. Other than that, other things or other people think that you can get money out of blogging. Yes, there's what we call passive. There's also what we call active. Active is probably through ads or different kinds of venues where you can get money. Brands may ask you to write about a review about their products, or it can be through AdSense or different ad platforms where you can actually get money. And if you ask me, have I really gotten money out of blogging? Yes. Though it's not that big because blogging turns out to be a hobby, a secondary. But from time to time, from views from different people, I get to have a certain passive income from blogging. But in totality, it's really more of sharing information. I love to share information because it's key to progress within the city. Other than marketing, other than those stuff, it boils down to information. Another one is if you're blogging, you're actually getting a solution from a certain blogger. If you're a blogger, you are a solution provider. One key example are the travel bloggers. What they do is they go to a certain spot or a tourist spot here in the Philippines. They blog about it. They blog almost everything from their itinerary to the budget. Everything's transparent. So from the consumer's perspective, what they think is, let's say Viajilo.com is one of my favorite travel bloggers, Enrico. I've read a lot of his blogs in the past, and it has also guided me through some trips, just locally. I'm not a heavy traveler like other travel bloggers. I don't also consider myself a travel blogger because I only have gone through different spots here in the Philippines. Another way that you can get from blogging, this is only secondary, and this is not like an overnight thing, is popularity. People think that if you're a blogger, you're popular. Sometimes other bloggers get to think about it, but reality, it's really more of sharing and expressing yourself. Popularity is secondary, third, or probably the last thing that you'd think of with blogging. In this year, 2014 to 2015, a lot of people have been mimicking the blogger posts, probably because it's an era wherein bloggers emerge, and it's a lot easier to blog compared in the past years, in probably early 2000. The internet has become really simple. They've really made it simple for everybody to express, to be able to create a lot of content. Another one is you may consider this as a hobby. I started, creating a blog in 2007 after I was able to watch the CDO bloggers online on the local TV magazine show called Shui, or probably Mag TV. This was the time wherein I was, my only thought that time is I wanted to be a great writer. I wanted to be a blogger. Until then, I met them and eventually grew with them. So it started as a hobby. Other than that, it builds your credibility. VICMADZ is not known for actually anything, though I can train. I was a call center agent. I used to do MCs in the past. But what really people think about my name, as I reflected, as I've done reflections in the past year, is VICMADZ is the blogger. In the past, when I was still young, it's the teen blogger, but now people or new bloggers call me Kuya. I think it comes with age as well, but it builds credibility. I even got a job because I was a blogger, and it's actually a lot easier to transition to being a social media strategist or a professional. So it builds your credibility. All right. Other than that, it also creates your online presence. Guys, have you seen or have you tried to search for or have you searched your name on Google? If not, try to search your name. And when I was still searching my name, I've seen a couple of my online hits or my blog posts appeared on Google. So it creates an online presence. The more you blog, the more you will be discovered because you will build a following, or not really a following, but people would know that you're a blogger, you're a solution provider, you're the first person to actually get that information. And if you're actually a marketer or under a marketing professional profession, or probably a business owner, blogging builds your brand. Gone are the days wherein businesses actually, print materials or marketing collaterals to, give it to the people on the streets. Now, people are online. People are on mobile. So people get information by not going directly to the store, but they already have the intention of buying products the moment they see you online. One example would be probably, local restaurants in Cagayan de Oro. I've seen emerging websites wherein they already published their menu. People, I think for the reason that, the brand would like the consumers to feel that we're transparent, we're online, all the info is online, from contests to products, new products, everything. So if you're a business owner, an entrepreneur, or a marketing professional, consider starting a blog. It also generates traffic, but you have to promote it well. And in the past, there were still no social media. There were only limited social media platforms. What I usually do is send a group message to all my contacts. So basically, most of my contacts would go to, I would send my contacts to, let's say, VICMADZ.com, or probably, wowcdo.com. I don't know if they read my posts or if I was becoming spammy, but that was one way for me to be able to market my blog. Other than that, I always keep on mentioning my blogs wherever I go. Like when I was a trainer, I would tell my trainees, I have a blog, I'm a blogger for how many years, and this is my blog. So from that moment on, probably, my trainees were probably the biggest impact to the following, because probably they believe in me. I hope so. But yes, it generates traffic. You have to promote it. If you don't promote it, of course, people will never see your blog. So I suggest for the newbie bloggers, or for the people who are interested to blog, please make sure that, creating or maintaining a blog doesn't only stop in creating your content. You also have to market it. All right, I'm receiving a few tags online on Twitter and Facebook. I'll be checking that out later on. Other than that, since you've already, You already have a, let's say for example, fast forward, you already have a blog. You can also always build lists of prospects. One example is me. When I announced my blogging webinar, I actually told you to register. That's me, or one way for me to see, to actually see if, you know, how many people are interested, if there's still a need. Is there still a need to teach blogging? So this is one way for me to test, not only to test, but also to get to connect to you if I have updates. It builds your list of prospects. This is ideal for businesses, not only for businesses, for all aspects of, you know, online or digital marketing. We always have to list, you know, we always have to build lists of prospects. If you have a blog, it also enhances your reputation. There's, you know, two kinds of reputation: the bad rep and the good rep. Always ensure to have a good reputation by providing your readers the best content you ever had. It's one way of respecting them, not only through blogging. Even me, I get a lot of pressure because I also write for the newspaper on the lifestyle section. It's fun because I get to think a lot of ideas on how to actually convey my thought from a certain event, or, you know, certain things. From that moment on, if you've already built a list of prospects, it's one way for you to create, you know, customers, get customers. And probably this would be through, you know, following, or probably, you know, customers. If you're a business owner, you may not know these customers are looking at you on the internet, but the next hour it's at your restaurant. So blogging is really, you know, probably the in thing. They say that blogging is dead because of social media, but for me, it's a social media on its own. Okay, so let's start to blog. So where to blog? So these are the top and free blogging platforms you can try on. I've listed 3 that I've tried so far. Though I have 4, but you know, this is back in the days. In 1999, when Tripod Lycos was still live, but I think they're not anymore into that, that industry of providing blogs or website. These were the times when I get to spend, you know, 10 pesos for internet cafe, creating blogs, you know, free blogs or free websites. But, you know, those are the days. It's been like it's over like 16 years now, and the internet has really improved. So let's start with the first blogging platform, and that's blogger.com. Blogger.com is owned by Google. So it's free. And the advantage of this is when people search for anything online, most of it, you know, because it's owned by Google, Blogspot would appear on the search result when you search for something. A sample website name will be vicmads.blogspot.com. Disadvantage for having a long domain: people may not be able to remember your domain because it's kind of long. Another one is wordpress.com. So it's another free platform. This is what I like. I started with Blogger, but I found that I was able to realize that it's more flexible with WordPress because there's a lot of themes, there's a lot of customization. It's a lot easier now compared back in the days. If you create a blog through WordPress, it can be vicmads.wordpress.com. Another one is one of the fast rising blogging platforms. Probably this is next to Blogger and to WordPress. It's Tumblr. So Tumblr, you can go to tumblr.com, you can register, but your domain name will be vicmads.tumblr.com. So these are top free blogging platforms. Again, that is blogger.com, wordpress.com, and tumblr.com. Okay. Guys, let me know if I'm too fast, but you know, the meaty things, or the meaty part of this really is on the last few parts. Hello to Ria Jose, who's actually online. Yep, Team WordPress. Team convert to WordPress. Okay, so how to name your blog, and who would you like to be online when people search you? When I first started blogging, my first name was VICMADZ. It's really long, .tk, because it was a free domain provider back then. But you have, as you know, I've actually changed VICMADZ into a lot of different things in a couple of years. It started as a personal blog. It went through tech, where I get to actually talk about tech. But it's really tasky to blog every day. It's time consuming. I've learned to really just blog probably once or twice a week. I've also gone through the point where it was travel, but literally it's really more of a personal blog now. It's a combination of everything. Though I'm gearing towards going back to vlogging, not anymore to podcasting. I think I'm now confident to create a vlog. We'll talk about vlog later on, or video blog. So I'd like you to think about your passion, about your talent. And from that, it's you and your mission. It's not just about blogging because I want to blog, I want to be a blogger. It has to coincide into your talent. It has to coincide into your passion, because it's so hard to write about things that you don't love. It's hard to blog about or write about things that does not interest you, and your readers will actually know it. If I'll say this in the local language, if papilit or pinugos, if you think that you're blogging because of that, probably it's for a living. But if you think blogging is a hobby for you, I'd like you to think about your passion, and I'd like you to think about your talent. VICMADZ.com is now a personal blog, but I'll show you how it came through and how the name VICMADZ got in. So at first, it got to atoymadriaga.blogspot.com. This was really hard to promote because it consumes a lot of characters on the text message. So this is where my dilemma started. Back then, I still could not, buy a domain because I think it was expensive. So I went into .tk, VICMADZ.tk. TK is .com of a certain country. I also went through VICMADriaga.co.cc to MA or VICMADZ with an S, co.cc. But at the end, when I was given an opportunity to win a blogging contest and the prize was a domain name, I realized that I should stick to just 7 letters or 6 letters or just two syllables. I've also read this on problogger.com or .net in the past, that the more easier your blog can be pronounced, the easier that people will be able to remember it. So that's VICMADZ.com. It's mad about information, mad about the internet, mad about everything, but I'm not mad. I've also tagged it as a guy with a big voice because probably I'm a medium to be able to share stories. I share a lot of stories. It's not just about me, but I get to share stories of other people on my blog as well. It's already a cross-platform. After VICMADZ.com, I was able to get in through CDO bloggers, and it's really a requirement for you to have a CDO blog. So that's why I created wowcdo.com, but this is already the recent look. Back then, we start as a newbie blogger, and we get to do a lot of stuff on our blog. But at this point, it's not about the design in your blog. It's a factor, but I'd say it's about making it easier for your readers to be able to get your blog, to be able to access your blog. So wowcdo.com is my CDO lifestyle and travel blog because it talks about any places in Cagayan de Oro, and I'm glad to say that it was awarded by the local ICT group in Cagayan de Oro and the local government as one of the top blogs in Cagayan de Oro. So thank you. Now, as you can see here, let me just get my pointer. to be able to show you a few things and to be able to actually do things here. So there are different kinds. So as you can see, it has certain parts, and these are the basic parts of a blog. We have the header. I'm not too sure if you could see the red thing going around the presentation. There's also the body. So after you've created, let's say you've already thought about your passion, your talent, you already thought about the name, just make it easier. It's time to design your blog, and just design it easier. Just don't think about it at the moment. Think about making it simple for your readers. So here are the parts of a blog. I patterned this from Google blog spot. So we have the parts of the blog, and these are, let me just get the mahiwagang red thing. So we have the header. Most likely this is your name, probably your picture. We have the sidebar. Let me go back. So the sidebar is where you can put your short things about you. It can be your Instagram. It can be your follower. You can probably ask, or you can probably actually put in your articles as well, the titles, and a lot more things on the sidebar. We also have the content area, and this is where automatically your blogs will appear. And there's also the footer. So there's only 4 basic parts of a blog, and that's a header, the content area, the sidebar, and then the footer. So blogging platforms such as blogger.com, wordpress.com, and tumblr.com already has a pre-designed template for you. Compared to the past where you have to really design from the scratch using some certain codes or programming language. So at this point, it's a lot easier actually. So I'd like to show you a couple of blogs that you might, you may get your inspiration. These are types of blogs, and I'll also show you a few of their, their designs. There are simple ones. There are, a lot of more things. A lot of content on their blog. And let's start with a personal blog. This is buhaysakorea.com or buhaykorea.com. This is a personal blog of a Filipino in Korea, and she talks about her life in Korea. So this is for the OFWs. And as you can see, we have the header. We have the sidebar, though it's on just the left side and not the right side, and the content area. This is only a screenshot, guys. You can actually go to buhaykorea.com. Another blog is another personal, but I'd say that this blog is more of a combination, personal and tech. So this is geekgirlmanila.com. As you can see, she has a very simple yet stylish header, but she talks about life, tech, and almost everything. But from the title itself, it's mostly for geeks, not really geeks, but tech-oriented people. So, from the looks of her website, you'd see that it's more of unboxing, it's more of, cell phones, and a lot more. So Geek Girl Manila is a type of a personal blog mixed with tech. Another one is lifestyle, and this is Mindanaoan.com. Hello to Miss Irene. I think she's still the reigning Mindanao Blogger of the Year for the Mindanao Blog Awards. She talks about anything lifestyle actually in Mindanao. So as you can see here, her sidebar is on the right side. She also has a very simple header up on the top, but in reality, this is actually flexible for mobile and for desktop computers. So this is a lifestyle blog. Another type of blog is a microblog. I'm not too sure if you've heard this last year, but this is the Titas of Manila, wherein Ellis and Tino was on Starbucks and was eavesdropping with a lot of mid-40 titas and was reading it live on Twitter, but you know, she probably has changed the names. But Twitter, Facebook, Plurk, back in the days, these are types of micro blog. Another type of blog is the career blog. And this is one example, one of, I think she's done, MrJobs.com is the #1 Northern Mindanao blogging or job website or job blog site. And this has been, you know, I think this has been in the industry for over 10 years now. So this is a career blog. We also have Nurse Germs, a CDO blogger who talks about her life as a nurse. So that's one example of a career blog. And as you can see here, you'll have the header, the content area, and the sidebar. And one way for you to be able to get money is through ads. So this is an example of a career blog. Another one is the organization platform or the organization blog. For certain organizations, I believe it's really more transparent if you have a blog. And this is, you know, Davao Bloggers has been one of the, you know, the pioneers of the blogging industry in Mindanao. And I should say that, you know, their system is really rock solid. And their website almost says everything about them. And this is an example of an organization blog. So if you have an organization, probably consider creating a blog for the organization. As you can see, we have the header, we have the sidebar here. They've also, you know, as you can see, Smart is their official telecom partner as well for the Davao Bloggers. And this is just the about page where you'd see their mission and their, you know, what their goals are. So this is an example of an organization blog. Another example of a blog, a type of blog, is the vlog. This is from video blog, so that's why it's called vlog. And as you can see, one example here is Jomi Hospital. Very konyo kaya kung pag-istorya, but it's Jomi Hospital. Jomi is from Hingop City. He studied in MSU IIT in Iligan, and you know, has started vlogging I think in 2014. And up to this point, you know, his career has really gone up because he's a content creator, and he's part of the Chicken Pork Adobo Network. It's a talent manager under ABS-CBN under, you know, the digital part. So if you think that you don't want to write, you don't want to take pictures, and you're confident of yourself showing your face online, probably consider creating a blog. If you have a Google account, it's a lot easier for you to create a YouTube account. So this is a video blog. One of my favorite audio blogs. So from photo, video, lifestyle, let's go into audio. This is more of putting the radio on the internet. And this is what we call the podcast. One of my favorite podcasters in the Philippines is no other than Martin Andonar. He's the current press secretary under the Duterte administration. So podcast.ph is one of my favorite if I just want to listen to audio. So this is one of my go-to sites. And recently he featured Duterte on podcast.ph, and this program is called Martin's Man Cave. So if you love recording, if you have an audio recorder, you can actually do it on any of the smartphones nowadays, then you may consider yourself going to this part. Over the past few years, I've created podcasts because, you know, I just wanted to interview people. I've also got or purchased a video camera, you know, an affordable video camera on a certain online website, which I use to, you know, capture a lot of videos. One example is the vlog that I created for Smart's DigiFest that was held a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago to be exact. It's actually on YouTube when you search for youtube.com/VICMADZ. So from audio, video, let's go to photos. And one of my favorite photo blogs is actually is actually One Happy Story by Bon Acerios. This is already the newly renovated website. What I like about One Happy Story is they just don't promote on Facebook, but they also get to actually record everything on a blog. So from a blog, they get to distribute this content on different social networking sites. For example, if they're done blogging, they post it on Facebook, they post it on Twitter, they post it on Pinterest. They're almost everywhere. So a photo blog, would have to have less words, but it's really more on the photos. And these are really for the photo enthusiast. So those are the types of blogs, the major types of blogs. Another dilemma I had for years is actually creating my very first blog. And this is really the meat, guys. So how do we create your first blog post? Even me at this point, when I open up my laptop, one question that I'd ask myself is, what do I want to write? And guys, here's a tip that I also got from the internet when searching, because there was a point in my life where, I don't know what to blog anymore. I don't know how to start. I don't know how to end it. So this served as my guide through the years in creating blog posts, and also in creating my, my weekly column on Mindanao Gold Star Daily's Urban Life. Always begin with an end of mind. Note that you have to know what's your goal of why you are writing that blog. For example, for me, I created this webinar because my intention is to actually let or create more bloggers through a platform of webinar, because sometimes due to funds, I cannot do it on a physical part, or probably because of schedule, it's more convenient for me to do the webinar online. So always begin with an end of mind. So first and foremost, after choosing the platform like Blogspot or Blogger, WordPress, Tumblr, creating your name, the next step is writing your very first blog post, or even the about page. So on your very first blog post, introduce who you are. Why are you blogging? So it answers the question earlier for passion and talent. And what will you be blogging about? So tell your audience, tell your future audience, why are you there? Why are you, or what solution will be giving to them? And as always, make sure that you have a call to action, like in a form of question or interaction. Call to action, let's say, at the end, you'd actually invite people to register, or invite people to follow you on Facebook, Instagram, or whatever social media, probably Snapchat. So in creating your first blog post, begin with an end of mind, make sure you have a goal, and here are a couple of ideas on what is, what do you think will you be blogging? Could it be a commentary? Commentary about probably the Aquino administration or the Duterte administration. It can be political. It can be a DIY or an educational, or probably how-tos. If you know how to, if your talent is, probably creating a webinar, might be it's best to create, a guide. Or probably if you love baking, I hope Ethel Hinampas is listening. She's been interested because she wanted to blog and to be a travel blogger. But other than that, she's also a pastry chef. It can be your experiences, and this is what I love blogging. It's all about my experiences. It can be a list, like probably the top 3 bloggers you wanted you're following, or probably anything. Top 3 restaurants in Davao, top 3 restaurants in Jansan, in Cagayan de Oro, in Iligan. It can be a recipe if you're a food blogger, or if you know how to cook. If you have a certain recipe, then you may actually go through that area. It can be recommendations, book reviews. To be honest with you guys, I have been seeing a lot of book bloggers lately in Cagayan de Oro. They have a certain group of probably 3 or 4. So this is, a niche or an area you can actually probably go into. It can be interviews. This is what I love about, because this is free-flowing, it's candid. People would see that it's partly scripted because you have a script or guide questions, but the reactions are not scripted. It can be updates about your life. If you're if you'd like people to know about you more, it can be updates about your life. Now, if you already have a goal, what to write, how do you want to open it? So how do you want to get the attention of everybody? The critical part in creating a blog post is actually the first 2 lines. It should be an attention getter. It should be a narrative. It can be, humor. I know it's really hard to crack jokes online, but it can be. It's possible. A few personalities have done it. It can be a quotation. This is what I love about, quotations, because from the quotation itself, you can actually create an intro, a body, and then the closing remarks. It can be a question, it can be a statement, or anything that would arouse curiosity. The opening should get the attention and the interest of the audience. So aside from the title, the first 2 lines are the most critical part in a blog post. One example here is Mindanaoans.com's blog about the NES in CDO. So when I was browsing, because I do blog hopping from time to time, just to get updates from different bloggers, this line struck me, and this line hooked me up to reading almost everything on her blog post. The first line is just, meet Henrik Yu. And to be honest with you, I've also used the word meet in my present, or in my last column about the top 3 new wave of life and style bloggers in Mindanao. So this is, an example of how would you like to start the blog. Next is the body. So the body can be the meat of the blog post, and this can be everything. It can be the pros and cons. If you have, a question at the very beginning, this can be the solution. It can be the problem, cause, solution. It can start with a main idea, and then you just have to expand it with sub-ideas. It can be the list. Actually, what I love about the list is, let's say, for example, you love restaurants. You just put the name and then expand with your own thoughts. You also have the before and after. Probably these are for the health or the fitness bloggers to show off their, their old photos and the new photos. There could be an agree or disagree versus disagree, but this is quite sensitive. It can be an opinion, or it can be a testimony of a certain product. One example I'd like to show you is this part. Jeffrey Mundia, I've been following this blogger from the Vow Bloggers the moment I met him, because I know that there is something with him, and he can be the next big thing. He's not David Gison, he just looks like David Gison, but you'd know that he will be big, similar with Andrew Publico and Kat La Peña Biligan. So what really struck me is this part. The part wherein he expanded, he expanded the part of, the portion wherein, why is a smart bro 4G pocket Wi-Fi 888 really important for the Baweños? So probably a paragraph composed of 5 sentences will do for you to be able to create a blog or the body. So here he has the intro and then the body. Okay. Another type of, or after creating your intro, your body, it's now time to close. So guys, we have reached an hour, but this is really more of the last few parts of the webinar. So how do we close? This is really what I believe in every post that I have, close with impact. If you open big, end it bigger. And it can be with a quotation, you can actually summarize with the points. It can be returning to the opening theme. Make sure that there's cohesion. I've learned this when I reviewed for the IELTS examination, though I haven't taken the IELTS exam. But though we think of ourselves as we know how to write, sometimes if you have an opening, a body, and a closing, and they don't relate to each other, there's still no sense. So I'd still want everybody, or You can always develop this from time to time. Even at this point, I'm still learning how to write. It's a never-ending, blogging is a never-ending thing for me. It doesn't stop with that. So one example of how to actually close with an impact is probably this blog from Andrew Publico. Andrew Publico was just announced the Urban Lifestyle Blogger of the Year yesterday at Limited Kai Center. Congrats, Andrew. So, I've also been following Andrew together with Jeff, and later on I'll show you the blog of Kat. There's a post here, like before I end this post, meaning Andrew has still something to say. But other than the part wherein he ends it with a blog, he also has the call to action, or at the end of the post, aside from getting info, what do you want your readers to do? And he says, just follow or message him on his social media accounts. Bloggers lately have been, very interactive to their readers, and there's no such thing as, blogging is being able to communicate with people and not really getting popular. Popular is just a second thing or secondary thing. So we have the opening, the closing, and how do we make your blog extra awesome? We're in the last part now, guys. How do we make your blog awesome? Super awesome, actually. Okay, ready? First, make sure you add visuals. I know there's still a lot of bloggers, just putting up text. It's okay, because that's probably their own thoughts, and they wanted the people to read and visualize. But adding visuals such as music, not only visuals, but audio, video, pictures, it's actually a breather. This will make, guys, that the moment we see something catchy online, it's really more in visual and not really in the words. So another opening or probably closing is getting the attention of the people to like or to see the photos aside from the words. So how to make your blog extra awesome? Make sure you have a breather. So this is Catherine La Peña's blog post about Pinch Iligan. I haven't been to this place. So here, she outlined the pictures and then elaborated it in another type of picture. So it makes you, want to go to this place because of the photos, aside from the words. So make sure you have to have a breather. Where can you post the breather? You can actually post the breather after every probably paragraph or after 2 paragraphs. It can be photos, it can be videos. I love multimedia because it complements your words as well. Next, to make your blog extra awesome, make sure you have a good grammar. This was my dilemma before because I had problems, to be honest. I had problems with subject-verb agreements, but it has been corrected. So basically, it doesn't have to be highfalutin words. It should be able to relate to your readers in the simplest word that you can imagine. But other than that, just use simple grammar. Simple subject-verb agreement, the is and the are. These are the only important things. Probably the commas, or probably elaborating it. It doesn't have to be highfalutin words. It should be you. It should be your persona, offline and online. Because sometimes there are bloggers that their persona offline is different from online. And sometimes, followers get to think, what's really happening here? Or why is there a disconnect? Probably this is because of this. So most of the time it's best that your own, they should see it when they view it online. Another one is, again, use simple words. Don't make it, I know most of the time you want to impress our readers, but the best way to impress your readers is your readers should be able to understand what you're blogging. How fancy the words are, if they don't understand it, they will go out and they will never go back to your website. So to summarize everything, Think about your strengths. Think about your passion. What do you love to do? Create a short and easy name to remember. Don't make it so long that people will never remember it. Choose a blogging platform. It can be WordPress, it can be Blogspot, it can be Tumblr. But I suggest go for WordPress. Create your very first blog post. Again, begin with an end of mind. Make sure that you know what you wanted to blog and what's your purpose of blogging. And it's not just about writing. It's about, having a goal when you create a blog. Make sure your blog contains an opening, a body, and a closing. And you may just, you may explore as time goes by. Me, I really made sure that there's an opening, a body, and a closing. That's it. So probably 3 paragraphs will do in a blog post, and make sure it's over 250 words. To begin with, just don't count the words at the very first blog. Just write from your heart. And also make your blog extra awesome. Use visuals, words. Sometimes I even I even embed videos coming from YouTube that I find very helpful for my blog as a complement, or probably just to complement the blog post. Proper spacing, good grammar, just use basic words. And again, just enjoy, experiment, and then just be creative. You really don't have to pour out juices to be creative. This is a tip. Do not write when you think you don't want to write, because your readers will eventually know that this is papilit lang. And you're just, being probably respectful to them. But to be able to respect your readers, just, make sure to give them the best content. Me, what I do when I write something, I edit it again to make it simple for everyone. And probably I do second edits, but probably this just would consume a few minutes. For me, I write my blog posts in an hour or 2. If I have a hugot, guys, it's a lot easier to blog. I'll speak this in a local language. Kung nakagihugutan, mas dali lagid ka blog. It's really a lot easier because it's free-flowing. But you have to consider that you have an opening, a closing, or a body, and then the closing. So that's it, guys. It's not an easy thing to be a blogger because there's a lot of pressure from everyone. You get to pressure yourself to give the best content. Never settle for less. Never write for something that you don't love. Never write for something that doesn't interest you, or else it will reflect on the blog. So let me just browse on Twitter to see if there are tweets. Okay, so we have a question from Nensky, Shira May Cepeda. Is it fine to post a different niche in just one blog post site from personal and beyond? I think it's okay. You just have to actually you just have to actually make sure that they're in a certain category. Let me stop the sharing, guys, and let me share my other screen. Okay, probably you can see me. All right. Okay, there you go. Let me share. Okay, from Ria Jose. Yep, Team WordPress. Ria, hello from Davao. Thank you for watching and sharing this webinar to Davao. Okay, another one from Shira May Cepeda. At VICMADZ plus WP or WordPress is easier to connect to other bloggers. To me, WordPress is community. Okay, yep, you're right. WordPress is really a community. And even actually in a blog, it's already a community, guys. Let's go to Facebook to see. Okay. Hi, Mel. Mel, you can actually watch this if you have a poor connection. There's a replay on the webinar. Okay, I believe those are, okay. Hello, Mel. I know you have a poor internet connection. You may check this out later on when you have a very good internet connection. Let me stop the sharing and let me go back to the presentation. Hello, guys. Hello also to Kate. Probably she's there watching. Yeah, she's there. Hello, Kate. She's one of the newest studio bloggers. She talks about fashion and lifestyle. Okay, I'm getting a lot of alerts. Thank you, guys. Okay, so I thank you for watching this webinar. I know I've promised to be giving out items from Smart Communications. They're sending out 2 pocket Wi-Fis. Thank you, Smart. Miss Abby, Miss Judy of Smart Northern Mindanao. Other than that, there are also other freebies coming from Smart. So please let me know if you've tuned in or if you've registered, and I'll do the raffle probably within the day or tomorrow. And you may win the pocket Wi-Fis coming from Smart, a pocket Wi-Fi only, not really the 2 pocket Wi-Fis. GCs coming from the Nest CDO. There's also coming from Mason de Bonbon. There's also coming from Giuseppe. So guys, this is not for me, this is for you. These items will not go to me. This is just a pahilipay. I'm thankful that, you know, they supported me. So let me go back to the slide. So the announcement of winner will be probably tonight or tomorrow. Just go to VICMADZ, fb.com/vicmads.com, or look for Vic Madriaga online. Again, thank you to the sponsors, Smart Communications, the Nest, Cagayan de Oro, Giuseppe, Mason de Bonbon, located in Corrales Avenue in Cagayan de Oro City near Boy Zugba. Thank you also Charmaine, our Mimay Kabugnason, for tuning in. So guys, if you have any questions, you could always tweet me on @VicMads. Feel free to email me at vicmads@live.com. And I'd also be giving this opportunity, if you'd really want to blog, I can probably lend a few hours or minutes every week for probably consultation or mentorship. I'd love to do that. So please send me a message if you are willing, and don't worry, it's for free. We just have to actually to schedule. And Giselle, thank you very much for listening. Giselle Haribo, who was my trainer in Concentrics. Thank you very much. So guys, again, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. I hope you've learned a lot from this blogging webinar. This blogging webinar will be online in the next few days for you to review. If you've registered, I will also be sending the cheat sheet to you for you to start blogging. And if you've started blogging, let me know, send me a message. I may be able to help for free, okay? So guys, thank you very much. Thank you for watching and tuning in to this webinar. Again, this is Vic Madriaga signing off from the sunny city of Cagayan de Oro. Happy Sunday, everybody.